Hello, this is Fernando Z, developer of Hunternet, and in this video, I'll show you how to do asteroid mining. First thing you want to do asteroid mining is make sure you switch to either the deep space or test space location. Make sure the mission type is set to attrition. Make sure extra carriers is set to 1, so you have somewhere to deliver your ores. And make sure the asteroid field is turned on. At the time of recording this video, asteroid fields are limited to these 2 test locations on the Wargame servers, but I'll be making that available at all locations on the Wargame servers as an option, and they will be integrated into the test universe at different locations. But right now the focus was just getting asteroid mining working, and this video is going to teach you the fundamentals of how to mine these asteroids. Turning back to my ship here. You can mine in any of the 3 fighter types, but I recommend using the fighter bomber as it gets double the cargo load and double the missile load of the other 2 fighter types. So switch to the super snapper and then change your hard point to either unguided rockets, short-range missiles, or long-range missiles, or you could also equip all 3. This can be a useful tactic if you're mining with a friend. One of you could be focused on breaking the asteroids into mineable chunks, and while the other one is responsible with scooping up the cargo either into their fighter bomber or flying the carrier and having the carrier collect the ore directly. But for this demonstration, I'm going to go solo, so I'm going to I recommend using unguided rockets. Then for my other 2 hardpoints, I'm going to equip the mobile munitions unit. This is going to give me some cargo space, but more importantly, it allows me to manufacture additional rockets on the field using a little bit of ore, which is very useful to save time. And then for a third hardpoint, I'm going to equip a cargo hold and now have everything I need to go mining. I'm going to undock from the carrier here. I'm going to use my optical scope to look for an asteroid to mine. If you reactivate the main scope, it will target whatever's in front of you. Here I targeted an S3 asteroid that's at 5 kilometers away, but I'm looking for one that's smaller. Here's a size 2 asteroid. The less massive an asteroid, the fewer missiles is going to take to break. So I'm going to go for this one of these over here. They're even smaller. These are size 1s. Any size 0s would be ideal, because a size 0 asteroid is ready 1 more additional level of destruction, and it's ready to be mined for ores. Although be careful not to get too close to any enemy carriers or fighters, so take the distance to the asteroid into account as well. But I'm going to go for one of these size 1 asteroids here. Next thing, since I'm using unguided rockets, I need to get within rocket range. This is 1.5 kilometers. If you're using the short-range missiles or long-range missiles to mine, then the mining procedure is the opposite of this. You want to keep your distance to give your short-range missiles, long-range missiles plenty of burn time so they can impact into the asteroid at maximum speed. But since I'm using unguided rockets, I'm going to get in within 1.5 kilometers here. Once you get close, you want to match the velocity of the asteroid. That's what these red tick marks are. It's the RDI, relative drift indicator. It's available when you have the optical scope open. You use that to match the velocity of the asteroid and avoid drift, making it easier for you to target it. Then you want to make sure that you're flying towards the asteroid and you're hitting the surface of the asteroid with your unguided rockets as perpendicular to that surface as possible. By doing this, you maximize the chance that your asteroid can penetrate deep into your rockets can penetrate deep into the asteroid surface, doing maximum damage, minimizing the time and number of rockets needed to break this asteroid to smaller pieces. You will get little messages here if you manage to score a critical or stack critical hit. So without further ado, let me try to demonstrate that. I'm going to go over this side so it's easier to see. Fly towards it. And there you go. You heard the little, this is a critical hit right here. This is a regular hit. You can see a critical hit's going to glow a lot brighter and it's much bigger. That's what you're aiming for. Once you've gotten at least 1 critical hit, you want to try to aim for subsequent critical hits in the same area, and those hits will be stacked, allowing you to mine 4 times faster than if you're doing these smaller hits here. So I did normal rocket hits that time, so that wasn't very good. Let's see if I can. There, you hear those little sound prints, those little beep sounds. That means I managed to get critical or stack critical hits. Now I'm going to bring up my scope to search for nearby ore. The red X represents the nose of my ship. the purple circle is the target. You can see the distance, and if you move the nose of your ship towards the target, moving here towards the left, then it should be right in front of you. If it's behind you, you'll see the angle off will be greater, be much larger. Here's 180 degrees. Target's behind me, it's now a purple square. Again, move the nose, so in this case pitch downwards until I'm facing right at it and the angle off is 0 degrees. So there it is. I'm going to fly through this. You're going to hear an impact warning sound, but it's a unique one for the ore. Nothing to be afraid of. You'll scoop it up into your cargo automatically. There you go. It's stored into my cargo hold. It'll automatically scan for nearby ore and target it. It can be useful to turn on your night vision so you can see the ore more nicely. Flight assist is also very beneficial, especially if you're not using analog input, to get a little bit finer control. So I'm turning flight assist on and off here to help with precise flying, so I can pick up this ore without having to make a second run at it. And then switch into flight assist off to conserve fuel the rest of the time. So I'm going to also show you another trick. If you have your scope open, if you double tap the smart target key, it'll switch it to path ore mode, and in this path ore mode, it will automatically search for nearby ore as it comes into radar range. So I'm going to see if there's something I missed, because some of the ore might have drifted. There we go. You heard that sound. Ore was detected. So it's always useful to go into this mode, especially if you're not mining quickly, as some of the ore could have drifted out of detection range. Here's another one. Power burn into it. Let's see if there's anything else. And I'm looking around. Okay, I don't think there's any more. Usually an asteroid chunk will drop something like 5 to 8 pieces, and my fighter bomber can carry 8 total, so I think I probably picked up most of it, if not all of it. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my night vision, deploy my landing gear, figure out where my carrier's at. My optical scope is now in landing mode, and there's the carrier, right? So when you're going to deliver the cargo, you have 3 options. You can land on the main cargo deck to deliver. You can the main deck to deliver. You could land on the dedicated cargo deck, or you could dump your cargo directly into the launch bay. Since I haven't taken any damage, there's no reason for me to use the main deck. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how to use the cargo deck. The cargo deck provides limited services, but it's much faster. So the cargo deck will automatically unload all your cargo while simultaneously refueling you and replenishing your unguided rockets. So you can take 4 times or even more less time by using this dedicated cargo deck, and only using the main deck if you need to repair your ship or if you want to change your equipment. I'm going to use the cargo deck. Also, the cargo deck, like the main deck, does allow you to request command of the carrier, which is handy, especially if the main deck is under attack. So without pressing anything, cargo is being unloaded, both the munitions cargo and the main cargo bay. I'm fully refueled, and I have my rockets replenished. So I'm going to undock from the cargo deck and go for another mining run. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to look for any asteroids. Here's a size 2 asteroid, another size 2. There's a size 2. Maybe there's a size... Oh, I don't see any size 1, so I'm not going to go too far. I'm going to go ahead and mine. Here's a size 1. But it's useful to do a little bit of scan, but also don't waste too much time. As I tend to you would tend to want to prioritize the asteroids that are closest to your carrier, just to save you time. And here we go. You're within, that was way. There we go. That was a good hit. Most of the other hits were too slow or too shallow. Alright, don't get too close, otherwise you will take splash damage from your own rockets. But there you go. I managed to get some critical hits there. I did take a little bit of damage. Bring up the scope. Search for ore. Get the ore as quickly as possible. One reason why splitting up the tasks might be useful is as you pick up this ore, your ship doesn't become a lot more sluggish, as all this mass will add to your inertia. It's also very important to take that into account when heading back home, as it's very easy to accidentally slam into a carrier deck. Here's another ore right here. So flying becomes more and more of a challenge. The more cargo, double tap to put into path ore mode. The more cargo you're carrying, the more challenging. You still want to use your Mark 1 eyeballs to look for ore. Your sensors only pick it up when it's within 1.5 kilometers. There we go. Okay. See if I see anything else before heading for home. Don't see anything here. And now I'm going to demonstrate. Oh, there is something over here. That does look like it might be an ore, so I'm going to go ahead and fly to that a little bit closer. Worth spending a little bit of fuel. Open up my scope. Oh, picked something up. I don't know if it was something else that got picked up. There it is. Oh, plenty of ore right here. Look at that. Hit a mother load. There is a chance when the asteroids ram into each other that they will break apart. So even if you're out mining by yourself, the asteroid field, especially a dense one. Now my oldest full, I almost rammed into that carrier. I'm gonna go ahead and head back to the main carrier. Actually, let me show you how to manufacture munitions. So let's say I was running low on rockets. I can hold down my second hard point, and it's gonna start fabricating munitions. And there you go. I generated some more rockets, but at the cost of some of that ore that I had collected earlier. If my munitions unit is completely empty, I can also hold down both the munitions hardpoint and the cargo hardpoint simultaneously to transfer some of my cargo into my munitions unit and use that to manufacture munitions. But I'm going to go ahead and pick up some more ore. You can manually point at an ore and target it this way, even though the nearest one is this one at 400 meters behind me. If I aim at this one and reactivate the main scope, you can see I can pick that one. That's 2.6 kilometers away, so I'm going to reactivate the scope while not aiming at it, and that will also search nearby. There we go. Let's go for this one. That's much closer. And my hold is full again. I'm gonna go ahead and deploy my gear, switch to landing mode, and this time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dump the cargo into the launch bay. This is the fastest way to deliver, but also the most tricky. So the way you do it is you need to, while your gear is down, right? So my gear is down. If you hold down the ammo or cargo hard points for a third of a second, it will do an emergency dump maneuver, and it will dump your cargo below your ship, and then that cargo will drift forward. It will also automatically target the cargo that was just dumped with the optical scope, and you can then watch it fly into the launch bay. And if it flies into the launch bay, you don't miss, and it hits the back door, then the carrier will pick it up automatically. So it's a really fun way to sort of do an emergency dump. Also, emergency dumping your cargo is useful if you come under attack by enemies, since it allows you to quickly dump all your cargo, regain your maneuverability, fight off the enemy, and then go back and pick up what you just dumped. So let's go see if I can dump it. I'm going to bring up the main scope just so I can get a better feel for it. You don't need to go super fast, but I'm going to go at a reasonable speed. And when I get closer, I'm going to go ahead and dump. Cargo dump. It's been picked up by my optical scope. There it is flying by. Going in. And there, it hit the back. We should see a message. Yes. Artemis M collected 8 points worth of cargo. So it's a really fun way. Now that I've unloaded my cargo in almost an instant, I'm much more maneuverable. I'm going to deploy my gear again. And I'm going to land in the main deck to repair that damage. That's probably the coolest way to deliver your cargo. A lot harder in an actual battlefield with enemies shooting at you. Now I'm going to demonstrate using the carrier view. So once you've landed on a carrier, press the external view button to switch to the carrier main deck view. You can see here on my right HUD that I'm currently viewing the main deck. You can also cycle views to look at all the primary views. If you switch to either the launch bay view, this one, or the cargo deck view, then the carrier sensors and HUD will switch to cargo mode, and it'll actually highlight at much greater distances any nearby ore. So here you can see that there's one over here in the distance, and there's one over here in the distance. If there's more than one in view, the one that's nearest will be the one with this blinking red X. So that can be very useful if you just want to fly and pick something up. But there's multiple being picked up. There's 1, 2, 3 in view here. If you hit the gear key while inside any of these carrier views, then you will automatically request carrier access. So you see, I'm now commanding the Artemis, and I can actually fly her wherever I want. And I can also switch to the main deck, where I actually fly here and actually scoop up the cargo myself. Well, there's a lot of asteroids here, so it's a little bit dangerous, so I'm gonna just leave her here. But that's really cool. Can be very useful, especially once asteroid field has been fully mined and there's nothing in the way. You can just come in and scoop all the asteroids, all the ore directly into your cargo bay. Just keep an eye on your fuel. My fuel's currently 99%. I'm going to now refit my ship just to show you how to use short-range missiles for mining. I'm going to use short-range missiles, and I'm also going to equip stealth for my second hardpoint to show something off. So one cool thing about stealth in Hunternet is not only does stealth hide you from enemy sensors, while stealth is active, you also get stronger sensors. You can think of it, when you're stealth, you're sort of minimizing noise, allowing you to hear better. And if you are stealth and have cargo, if you bring up the optical scope, your ship will switch into mining mode, and your ship sensors will pick up nearby ore, right? So I'm going to fly in stealth while having my main scope, and it picked this out at more than the regular radar range. And you can see it also puts a little red X over the nearest ore, saving you time. And also the symbol, the HUD symbol, will change. If it's ore, you're going to get a triangle. If it's a wreckage, a small wreckage will be a diamond, and a big wreckage will be a square. So the ores, the HUD is a lot more useful. And this is great, especially towards when there's been a lot of mining done and you want to just focus on picking up what has already, the ore that's already available on the field, instead of mining for a new one. Okay, let's see if there's anything else nearby. Since there isn't any, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to mine with short-range missiles. And this is the same procedure you're going to want to use for long-range missiles. You want to mine from a distance, so avoid mining really close up. There's some nearby ore here as well, but see. So it's the opposite of using unguided rockets. This one is at 1.1 kilometers. So I'm not going to mine this one. We'll look for one further away. This one here, for example, at 5 kilometers. Or this one over here, yeah, is ideal. So you want to minimize the drift. And then aim. Once there's little drift, you can just start firing your short-range missiles. They're going to burn over there. They're going to pick up plenty of speed. And then we should see here critical hits, right? They're getting critical hits because they're penetrating deep into that surface because they accelerate to high speed. So again, I'm going to minimize the drift so they don't miss. If the asteroid hits something, then that's going to change the momentum. And here you definitely want to use flight assist off. And then send a whole bunch of SRMs. I usually use SRMs instead of LRMs, so the procedure is the same. LRMs do more damage per hit, but you also get way more SRMs. So there, I managed to break this into small bits. So I'm going to go now into getting close and switch to stealth mode, and have the improved sensors pick up the ore. Bring up the scope so you can actually see it. So here we go. See, pick this one up quite a distance. From time to time, you're going to want to get out of stealth so you don't overheat. But yeah, stealth mining is quite useful, especially if you're mining and there's nearby enemies. This can keep you relatively hidden from the enemies, and actually can, while you can't bring the munitions unit, you can be more efficient in terms of finding things more quickly and avoiding the enemy. Right, so this one picked this one up at outside of radar range thanks to using stealth. I can see that there's another one over there, right? So I'm gonna pick this one up. It's much easier to see things. Oh, my cargo hold is already full. I'm gonna blow my gear. So now I'm going to be able to deliver 6 instead of 8. But I think it'd be a very reasonable trade-off to use this stealth mode. And again, I'm going to try to use the cargo dumping to deliver my cargo. Make sure my RDI is close to 0. Oh, it's a little bit harder when you're completely loaded. This is good enough. Oop, I didn't have my gear down. This is the walk of shame. Make sure the gear is deployed. Your cargo won't dump if your gear is not deployed. A lot harder to cancel my momentum. I'm just gonna go straight into the cargo bay. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong hard point. That's what's wrong. I'm pressing the stealth hard point. There, done. Cargo. Accidentally picked it back up. There. That time I did it correctly. And there it is. Didn't have enough momentum, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick it back up. But yeah, you can see that if you're not careful, cargo dumping can be a little bit more tricky. I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate using the main deck instead. So land here in the main deck. If you're using the main deck to unload, then you need to actually manually request the cargo to be unloaded. So you need to hold down that hard point. So I'm gonna hold down hard point 3 to unload my cargo bay. And there, I delivered 5. There was, I think, 1 that accidentally dumped and didn't pick back up. But in general, that's the core of asteroid mining. We currently also have a simple supply system in the test parameters menu that sort of mimics a very basic mining economy. But the next big feature that I'm working on is carrier travel in the open world. And after that, I'll be working on an actual war economy with logistics, really tying asteroid mining into the core gameplay loop of the Hunternet persistent universe, which is a mine, build, conquer loop, which is trying to simulate sort of a factional world war in space between the two major factions. So I'm really excited to see how asteroid mining is going to integrate into the open world. And asteroid mining, I really recommend you try it. It really brings our original vision of asteroid mining to life that we talked about during our crowdfunding campaign, which is a mining system that instead of being based on your equipment or just pure knowledge, it's more built around your skill as a pilot, your ability to make smart decisions while flying out there, paying attention to what you're doing. So that's what's going to make the difference between a good miner and a bad miner. How good you are as a pilot, how much you practice the different techniques for mining, and you come up with interesting strategies to optimize your mining when working with others. Okay, I hope this lesson is useful. Keep an eye on the comments below for additional tips, and see you in the next video, pilot.